My affair claims that I am cheating on my husband. The lie costs him his job.
Joseph, M., 45, and I, F., 38, had been married for 10 years.
We don't have any children, but we have a lot of dogs. We don't want kids either. We enjoy life far too much for that, with all the travel and lazy Sundays. Unfortunately, our relationship has been troubled for a few months, so Joe and I decided to open the marriage. I know that is usually always a guarantee of disaster. But we have fixed rules, and we strictly adhere to them. Joe found a nice lover whom he personally introduced to me. She is a very dear person, and he has improved since she has been in his life. I have also met with one or the other man. One of these men is my new co-worker Bill. Bill and I met at an event I went to alone. I didn't know then that he would soon start working for me in the company. We had intimacy on the first night. A typical one-night stand. When he came to my office a few weeks later, I first thought that he was a stalker. It turned out, however, that he had been accepted for the position weeks ago but could only start later because his old employer didn't want to let him go sooner. He asked me out on a date, and I said yes because our evening together had been very nice. We went to dinner together and then to the cinema. Of course, we also had intimacy with him. The next day in the office, it was as if nothing had happened. Realizing he could be discreet, I decided to meet him more often. That went well for a while. He told me he developed feelings for me after we had just had intimacy a few dates in. He then wanted to know if I felt the same way. I was honest and said no. I like having intimacy with him, but I only love my husband. He was surprised. He couldn't remember me telling him I was married. But I definitely told him. Bill then became dismissive, and I left his apartment very quickly. The next day, I noticed many colleagues looked disgusted at me in the office. I then asked my work bestie what was going on. Then she told me Bill was telling everyone I was cheating on my husband. Of course, since many of our team had more traditional marriages, that didn't go down very well. My boss finally approached me about the matter, and I clarified the whole situation to him. Then he called Bill over, and the two argued incredibly loudly before Bill angrily stormed out of the office. That was the last time I saw him. A few days later, my husband told me that a gentleman had called and told him that I was cheating on him. He let him know that wasn't the case and that we had an open marriage, and he hoped he and I had a good time. Looking back, I find it funny, but on the other hand, I feel very sorry for Bill. What can I do to make him feel better?